American politics, they are so it's so funny. It's so funny right now. You know, I don't even know where to start. Most of my videos on my YouTube feed is usually just like people complaining about the American political system, and I find it pretty interesting. Like is really really funny that on the 24 ballot box, all you're gonna see is one white old pedophile and another white old pedophile, and like that is gonna be pretty funny to see, because if it can go either way actually. People are gonna vote for Donald Trump, like if it's like the last thing they do, and people and will like vote for Joe Biden because it's not Donald Trump, you know. But it's is really like fucking it's the most insane thing ever. It's pretty entertaining to watch, especially fucking since 2016, dude. Donald Trump is literally the most was literally the most hated American president, the one with the least approval rating in American history, and he's going up against Joe Biden, the dementia king, you know. Honestly, if I'm able to vote. I recently just got that privilege, that great privilege, the great American privilege of going out to vote. Uh, and if I have to fucking ride along with my parents voting, then I'll vote for Joe Biden because that dude's funny as fuck. You know, if I had to choose between any of them, I'd choose Joe Biden because he's funny. You know, he had that speech about kids rubbing up on his leg hairs and calling like black kids roaches and shit. That shit was so funny. But I just like how he does. Uh, People say Bush was the funniest president. I can't really remember that far. But I do remember him unconsciously saying it went something like the enemy finds new ways to harm and disorganize our population, and so do we. I'm sure you could fucking find it, but it's a very funny clip. And are you saying like you had to go to war with the fish people? That's just pretty funny. Like, you know, I just love shit like that. Like I want him to win because his dementia is only gonna get worse. You know, he's just gonna start saying more crazy shit. The dudes just start gonna like walk off to more random places. Yeah, it's pretty funny, but I feel like yeah, I understand for a lot of people it could be fucking scary as hell. Like holy shit, I these are the choices. But the choices were always like fucked. The choices were always rigged. You know. I feel like this election, especially 2024 election, it's not really going to be like one specific election season where the choices are fucking rigged, and the choices are just like the only difference from the 2024 election and the rest of it is that it's just more obvious. It's just more obvious that you're just getting fucked over, you know. And it's funny as hell. It is really funny, you know. Especially like the Trump fans, you know. They're really funny. I want Joe Biden to win just so I could see them like blow their shit like, oh, we're doomed. You're gonna be doomed anyway, brother. Um, it's really funny, but it's gonna be something that really shows like the American population like oh my god, we are this shit is fucked. This shit is rigged, and it's gonna show the world too because not only Americans like do American politics, not only because everyone like in the world watches is gonna be watching the fucking election because America basically controls is the dominant global power right now. It's sad to see, but it's just how it is. And it won't last forever. Empires can't last forever, you know. And I feel like we're just growing up like a very very interesting time. You know, I have a lot to say about like to technology and like how it's just going to go and how it's just going to affect everything. Because usually like in the past 20 years, we have like fucking like is like basically the road is unnoticeable from how it was 20 years ago, which is like which is like so insane to say, but is basically true, you know. Is basically unrecognizable, you know. If you went to a fucking coffee shop, you'd see a whole bunch of different shit, you know. Back 20 years ago, motherfuckers used to use gay as an insult unironically, you know. It's so insane how shit's changed. I couldn't imagine being old, like especially like during this like season, like just like technology going up and shit. But I'm gonna go off on on a tangent of technology because it's actually pretty insane how fast shit is growing, especially AI. That shit's gonna change a lot. It's gonna change a lot of shit. You know, it's basically only gonna make I predicted this, but I haven't seen it yet. I feel like the big businesses would probably have hopped on it by now if I was right. But I feel like you know how last video I've said like fucking most of the jobs are bullshit. And they are bullshit. They're typing like random numbers in their Excel sheet, you know? And like with AI, you can have AI do that for you. So it'd be more cheaper to just do AI than to fucking like than to actual like hire people, you know? And that's the whole problem with like capitalism in general is because it's just a contradiction, like a living contradiction between of what most of the population wants and what the uh, rich 1% that like owns everything wants. You know, it's just gonna become more and more. Uh, it's just gonna have like more and more contradictions. It's like the more we go through it, and like this is a very interesting time. I remember like back in like I was like a kid, and people people unironically said this is the longest era of peace we've ever had, and that has not that has aged like milk, you know. It's just because back in 2012 shit was like moderately stable, you know. People still had like some like reverence, like some like belief in the American political system abroad and domestically. But now it's just like, oh, what the fuck is this? It's so funny, but especially with I like it's hard to not talk about politics. Not it's kind of hard not to, you know. The shit still is literally just world lore. It's world lore going forward. It's like one of the main things you gotta look into just being on Earth. Like, what's the political situation going now? Because it's literally just like world lore, you know. So it's kind of hard not to really have any opinions on it. It's kind of hard to just be completely apolitical, you know. You can ignore it, yeah, but why would you? You can like if you're like in a like stable financial situation, I guess you're like inclined to know because like oh this doesn't matter to me, but like it's still interesting as hell. It's still very interesting. Like, it's literally just the world changing in front of you. You know, uh, especially like we tend to look at history and just like say oh what a wild time that was, but people actually lived through that shit. People lived through like World War II and shit. People lived through like the Napoleonic Wars, every single war, every like regular random people just like you and me lived through that shit. Seeing that shit like on like newspapers, like oh fuck, Germany invaded the Soviet Union. Ah, it's it's very like I know it sounds so simple, but it's trippy to think about. Like oh shit, the past has just been now. Oh wow, this is just very interesting. It puts history in a new context. You know, like if you can look at pictures of history, but it's not going to be what actually like how how things were because you're going to be like you could be teleported into like a random force in like whatever time, and you wouldn't really tell if it's now or like 500 years ago. So it's very very fun, or very like very interesting just to look at. I'm not too sad about the shit going on, because like I feel like for the most part we made it. We've been through more horrible situations. Just putting in context, uh, one of the main examples is just like basically uh basically just at any time before now was like way worse. Well, globally. Well, no, I'm speaking in long term. Like if like yeah, I say like 50 years ago probably been like a little bit better, but I'm just saying like in the long term. Like if you look back 120 years ago, shit was shitty, and like shit like people were just dying outright. Like the bubonic plague that killed like 1/4 like of Europe's entire population. Imagine a disease killing 1/4 of an entire continent nowadays. That'd be goddamn insane. Shit has shit has gotten better. It's always gotten better, even through like conflicts, like huge conflicts, huge historical events. Shit has always been okay, and we'll still probably make it through. I know global warming is like yeah, a big thing, but there's no way we will like humans will just sit back and just like let this shit happen. Especially if you're like becoming more and more aware of it, and it starts to affect us more. The oil companies can pollute the fucking ocean as long like pollute the sky and ocean as much as they want, but like you can't ignore the fact that shit's getting hotter. And not only they feel it, there's like the rest of the world feels it as well. So, and they won't be able to keep up that fucking we're the ones doing it. It's just like a very very funny situation. But I'm not too scared. I'm not too scared. It's just overall very interesting. Speaking on world politics, the Israel Palestine conflict, that shit was destined to happen. And for just like it will further just kill like just the American like trust. Not only will the 2024 election just kill any American validity in like just people's eyes, the Israel and Palestine conflict will also do that, because the world is overwhelmingly for like Palestine liberation and shit. And I remember seeing this one statistic, or it's like not a statistic, but it's like there was like a UN meeting about like a couple years ago, and they held like a vote on to stop the stop conflict in the Gaza Strip, like there's like a previous conflict, and every almost like I think like 90% of countries said yeah, stop it, and like the only two countries that said no was like Israel and the United States. It's pretty funny. It's funny. It's just gonna kill any U.S. legitimacy, like abroad and domestically after 2024. Yeah, the United States is not gonna be seen the same way as it has been, like especially during the like late 1900s. Oh my God, this fell out. I'll put it back. But it's gonna be very interesting. It's like it won't last forever. The United States can't last forever. You know, I've I've heard it be compared to like the decline of Rome and shit, which is not nearly as cool, but I guess you could compare it to that. But uh, we will see a change, especially now with the major technological advancements. I feel like technology definitely has a like it has an effect on shit, on how shit changes, you know, especially with the internet. You know, the internet has like made like has not only made information accessible to everyone and anyone, it has also made like information that's harmful to like the status quo like have be able to be accessed by anyone, you know. Usually back in the day, the like the mate like the American government for the most part had a pretty strong hold on information, uh because all like the places you get your information about global news and shit was coming through like these major news sources, like on the television. And for the most part, the American government had full control over that Operation Mockingbird type shit. And it's having the internet just to explode how it did is would be, I'd be shitting my pants if I was like an American official right now. You know, I'd be shitting my pants hard. You know, it's it's kind of really interesting to see. It's going to be way more interesting to see. It's way easier to spread information. It is way easier to to get based, as I like to say. And is probably going to be one. The internet has been one of the nails in the coffin for America, and I feel like AI is going to be another one. There's so many nails in in America's coffin right now. This fucking shit looks like a fucking goddamn like a fucking one of those medieval cages they used to torture niggas in. Oh, I said the N word. No, no. Well, I'm not editing that out. I know Kneecaps says the N word. I'm black. Don't worry about it. I know Kneecaps says the N word, but and his shit doesn't get taken down. But yeah, it's kind of I still like be like, oh, I'm kind of apprehensive about it because I have to show YouTube like my skin tone or something, because I really don't care about people saying the N word at all. I really don't. If you're saying it in like in a casual context, you could be white, like with like white anything. If you're just saying it in like in a casual context, like regular black people do, like that shit's not racist, dude. The dude's just saying like just referring to people, you know. I got a shit badly. Uh, okay, I will just finish this video and all shit. Yeah, I don't care about the like the N word being said at all. You know, the people that care about it the most are usually just like white people. It's very funny, but we're off topic. Uh, yeah, I'm just really excited for the coming years. You know, 2020. The 2020s are probably gonna be a shit year. Not a shit decade. It's probably gonna be a shit decade, but a whole bunch of shit's probably gonna change as well. You know, like the government definitely is gonna have to change, and I feel like that's like this is the era where like all the boomers will start to die and shit. Because I've seen the people in Congress, those motherfuckers are like in wheelchairs and like strapped to oxygen tanks and shit. It's actually pretty mind-boggling how these people are still able to actually get up in the morning to pass laws on shit they don't understand. You know. And I feel like that's the one of the main reasons why the internet is such a detrimental thing to American to just to America in general, is really because all the people in government are old. They're old. They don't understand that shit. They don't understand any of it. You know, old people don't understand the internet. It's very funny. You know, I have. It's actually very funny how like how boomers don't understand. They can, but for the most part, they don't. Especially with AI, they're gonna have a hard time with AI when this AI shit comes around and it starts becoming more popular. Like they really won't be able to tell what's real and what's not. You know, you could have a fucking video of Joe Biden doing a backflip, and like these boomers won't know if this shit's real or fake. And that's actually pretty insane. It's going to be funny too because I saw an ad on YouTube, And the ad was literally Joe Biden said, "Oh, just give me your social security number, and I will give you another relief fund, another fuck, what is it called? Goddamn stimulus check." Yeah, this oh no, your fourth stimulus check is coming in, fucking like half a decade after 2020 ended. You know, then you still have people doing that shit. You know, it's pretty funny. It's really funny, but hopefully that the video doesn't get removed for saying the N word. That'd be pretty stupid. That'd be really stupid. But hey, that's just gonna how it be. I feel like this is good recording. I've been recording for like 20 minutes and 41 seconds. So, okay, bye bye.